we are as a people, inherently and historically, opposed to secret societies, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. Second episode for today, July 15th, 2026. Tomorrow is Sammy's birthday. So, happy birthday, Sammy. 2 seconds. Sorry, it was right behind me. Yeah, as far as update, just went to work today. I put out a podcast this morning, which I wasn't able to upload until later today. Movie review on Evil Dead Burn. It's in the Conspiracy Cinema playlist, where I do all my movie reviews. And then we covered Mitch McConnell. Is Mitch McConnell dead? I personally think he is. Go look into that episode for some details. Speaking of death, I'm sure you figured out what we're about to talk about, considering in the future I will title this episode. There's another recent death, and I'm going to tell you what I know through the grapevine of listening to other conspiracy channels and my thoughts on it. Some very interesting stuff. So, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to the channel, I will send you a bookmark, Conspiracy Corner Podcast bookmark, and I'll sign the back unless you don't want me to. But yeah, just got home, just got off of work, did some chores around the house, did some dishes, fed the cats, cooked some dinner, just some chili, nothing big. Yeah, figured I had a little bit of time before I went to bed, because I start laying down around 8. I have to be in bed by 10. I take my first melatonin at 8, a second at 9, and hopefully I'm zonked out by then. I'll probably maybe play a little video games or something. So let's get into the show. So I'll tell you what I know through the grapevine. Apparently Lindsey Graham is dead. We actually covered him, like, in passing here recently. The episode, it kind of got shadow banned and shit, because he always reminded me, and I've been the only one who's ever made this reference, so, like, I'm a little proud of myself, you know. He reminded me of, like, the mayor from Gravity Falls. If you've ever seen Gravity Falls, I've done a couple episodes on Gravity Falls. It's one of my favorite cartoons. Well, here, speak of the devil, I got a Dipper hat, you know. I love Gravity Falls. It's like a conspiracy cartoon for kids, you know. If you want to get your kids into conspiracy, get them into Gravity Falls, you know. There's like Illuminati, there's cryptids, there's paranormal, there's ufology, there's all sorts of crazy shit. Secret societies. I mean, they delve into like all of it, but they put it in like a kid form. That Gravity Falls, Encourage the Cowardly Dog, are like two of my favorite animated series as far as like conspiracy type stuff. But he reminded me of the mayor from Gravity Falls. Like, just real, like, yeah, yeah. Lindsey Graham to me was like definitely a closeted homosexual, in my opinion. And the thing is, like, I remember the episode where we covered him. He was, I'll link it below in Spotify as a related episode. And I am going to create like a Lindsey Graham playlist since we have covered him multiple times. Anytime we've covered a subject multiple times, I usually create a playlist on said subject. He was caught at Disneyland with a bubble wand the last time we covered him on the channel. And by the way, like, I have no issues if you're homosexual. I mean, my wife, like, I've been married to my wife for 10 years. She's super open-minded. I was married to my ex-wife. I was with her for 6 years. I've only been with women. I've done weird shit with dudes. Not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, dude. Like, I've watched a shit ton of, like, tranny porn, and some of those trannies are hotter than actual women that walk around on the street. Just saying. So, I don't know. I've always, just to make it easy for people, I've always just said I'm bisexual, you know. Like, if I was single and there was a smoking hot tranny, like, I ain't gonna lie, I probably would get with them, you know. So I don't bash people for their sexuality. But my thing is like, just be open about it. Just be cool about it. You know? Like, I'm very open-minded. I'm cool as fuck. I've always told people on this channel, you can be who you want to be. You can be whatever religion you want. Any type of sexuality. I have 4 rules. I have 4 rules. And this kind of goes with religion and sexuality, because sadly the two tie together. As long as you are not harming children, animals, you're not harming your partner, unless they're consenting to being harmed, like BDSM or something. I can't remember the 4th rule. I did make a 4th rule, but as long as you follow at least those 3 rules, I'm fucking cool with you, dude. Like, you can believe in whatever you want. You can, you know, specifically the children and animals, you know, like, leave them out of shit. Whether it be religion or fucking, well, literally fucking, you know. And I've covered death on this channel multiple times. I have a whole playlist literally of eulogies of different times I've covered people's deaths, whether it be David Wilcock, what was his name, Ted Turner, anyone, whether it's someone I like or someone I despise, you know. And if you listen to my old shit, because I've been a content creator for 11 years. I've been podcasting specifically just podcasting for like 6 or 7 years. I've been on the air. I've covered plenty of death on this channel. And if you listen to my old stuff, I was very like cutthroat, disrespectful, dancing on people's graves, pissing on people's graves, spitting on people's graves. Not literally, but metaphorically. And the older I've gotten, I feel like I've been wise. And if we have this whole loosh thing that they talk about all the time, that the elites are like archons or reptilians or demonic, then the more we hate them and the more we spit on their graves and the more we dance on their graves, that's actually fueling them. You have to kill these people with kindness. Like, I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds batshit. But before I go to bed sometimes, or even while I'm driving, because one of my times that I pray is while I'm driving, I pray for my enemies. So, like, I will literally specifically pray for Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, Lindsey Graham, because if these people are controlled by entities, or if they are actually entities themselves and just shapeshifters or something, they're going to that beautiful. And you got to do it. You got to mean it, man. You have to mean it. I know it sounds crazy, but you have to mean it. That's going to be like a spear of light to a vampire, you know? But you just can't go, oh, I hate this person. I hate this person. I've tried to eliminate that word from my vocabulary just in general. And this isn't me like patting myself on the back saying I'm better than you. It's just like, I don't want this channel to be toxic like I see in our community, for one. And two, I'm just telling you what works for me, man, and my belief system of like, you have to kill these people with love. I know it sounds hippy dippy, whatever, but no one else in our community is saying this type of shit. Just saying. And I think there's a reason why I'm shadow banned and why I'm not as popular as other people, because people want hate. People want that. They enjoy it. They won't admit it, but they're the type, when there's a car wreck, they slow down the car and look. Did anyone die? You know? So in the conspiracy community, apparently Lindsey Graham visited Kiev. And he was checking out a missile building base. And then he went to a hotel. The missile building base that he visited got bombed hours after he supposedly visited it. Then the hotel he was staying at got bombed hours after he supposedly left. Then when he comes to the United States, he suddenly dies. I think he got bombed in Kiev. I think that they said, hey, he came back here and he had a... I don't even know. Let's see the official story. But that's the conspiracy, and I believe the conspiracy more than I believe the official story. I haven't even heard the official story. I'm guessing it just says brief and sudden illness. So let's dive in. Let's see what the official story is. Senator Lindsey Graham dies at 71 after brief and sudden illness. President Donald Trump led tributes to Graham, a leading Republican voice on defense and foreign policy, describing him as a true American patriot. Washington. So, Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, who was elected to the Senate in 2002. Was he, though, or was it a stolen election? That's a whole nother story. And was a close political ally of President Donald Trump. He has died. His office confirmed early Sunday. He was 71 years old. Graham died Saturday night. From a brief and sudden illness, quote unquote, his office said in a statement. Well, what's the brief and sudden illness? Because the nuclear facility that you were visiting got bombed right after you left. And in the hotel room got bombed right after you left, according to the mainstream narrative. They bombed 2 locations hours after you left. Something makes me think that you were at one of those locations, possibly still there. I don't like Lindsey Graham. I don't. But supposedly the conspiracy is that Putin, Russia, bombed those 2 locations to take out Lindsey Graham. And I ain't gonna lie, dude. I mean, call me a fucking liberal, call me a terrorist, whatever, but I'm kind of like, thanks, Putin. Thanks for taking him out, because, like, we don't need him here, you know? Sorry. Sorry. A broken clock is right twice a day, you know. Thanks, Putin. Thanks, Russia. Rah, rah, Rasputin. If you guys can keep cleaning out our nasty-ass politicians, that would be nice. Keep it up, Putin, you know. Senator Graham's family appreciates prayers at this time and asks for privacy during this incredible, difficult period. The statement said, okay, yes. Like I said, we shouldn't dance on graves, and here I just said, rah, rah, Rasputin, dancing on a grave. Ye without sin cast the first stone, you know. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Creator of all, Hugh, please forgive me. I mean it. I'm sorry. I'll straighten up. President Donald Trump led tribute Sunday to one of the greatest people and senators I've ever known. I don't know about that, buddy. Describing Graham as a true American patriot. Maybe a true Israeli patriot, because he's said multiple times that he doesn't care. He puts Israel first before America. He's not even hidden that shit. He literally has admitted it and been proud of it. So, you know. He told NBC News, Meet the Press, that he spoke with Graham on Saturday night, hours before the senator died, adding that other than being tired, he was fine. Spoke to him hours before. By the way, I think he's dead. I think he got bombed. But even if he's not, conspiratorially, who's to say this motherfucker ain't in some fucking bunker somewhere, you know? Like they're just rallying up their little group, the big club that me and you are not in, and who's to say this fool ain't in some sort of bunker, you know? At the White House, flags were lowered to half-staff. Oh my God, I ain't lowering shit. In a later post on Truth Social, not for him or Mitch McConnell, Trump ordered that all American flags must fly at half past on until Saturday 6 p.m. No, fuck that noise. Graham was chairman of the Senate Budget Committee and was seeking a fifth, sixth Senate term in November. See right here. A fifth, 6-year Senate term in November. I don't have a calculator ready and I can't stop recording. Otherwise, if I use my calculator on my phone, it'll stop recording. 5 consecutive 6-year terms in Senate. This is the whole... I try to be libertarian, but there are times when I'm like, this is why I can't be libertarian. Because it's like, I think there should be a term limit. Especially with these old bastards. First of all, they're out of fucking touch. I'm 34 years old. I'm not super young, you know. Within 6 years, I'm going to be 40. So, over the hill. It's all downhill from here. I only got 6 years until I turn 40. This whole, career politicians shit, it's got to go. This is why I'm not a libertarian, you know, but it just, they're out of touch. They're not in touch with the youth. And by the way, I'm a 34-year-old and I'm totally out of touch with the youth. Yeah, they literally speak gibberish to me. I don't get what they like. I try to hang out with them and chill with them, but it's just we're just on totally different wavelengths. So if me at 34 years old, a middle-aged man, can't connect with the youth, what makes you think a 71-year-old can? Which means they're passing laws from the mindset of the 1960s, 1970s. It's 2026. You know? We've got to get these old motherfuckers out of here, dude. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's how long he was. So, like, if anyone could do the math on the calculator real quick, hit me up in the comments. Let me know 5 6-year terms. 5 times 6. I want to know how many years that is. That's fucking nuts. He was one of the most well-known members of the chamber and a key voice within the Party on Defense and Foreign Policy. Emergency personnel responded to a call for cardiac arrest. So they're saying heart attack. Which he was a chunky monkey, but I already told you, I don't believe the mainstream story. I don't on this, and I don't on the previous episode with Mitch McConnell. Go check that episode out. There's some weird shit going on. Like, this is like twice in 1 week that 2 of these motherfuckers have died. 2 people that I dislike highly, you know. At Graham's Capitol Hill home on Saturday, according to police scanner audio obtained by NBC News, EMS audio later indicated CPR was in progress. I would love to hear that audio. Photographs from the scene obtained by NBC News show paramedics carrying a person on a stretcher from Graham's home to an awaiting ambulance. Police cars and fire trucks were also on site. A top staffer to Graham told NBC News early Sunday that there was no indication the lawmaker was feeling unwell prior to his death. He had been scheduled to appear on NBC News, Meet the Press. By the way, dude, I never covered it because of this. These are literally all the episodes that I still need to cover. I can't cover it all. I barely have enough time to cover what I cover in general. You know, this will be my 4th episode this week. I got a new job. I got new hours. And by the way, that was one thing I talked about in my last episode. I'm probably not going to be able to podcast as much as I used to when I worked at Kroger. With this new job, with the new hours and the drive to and from, and it's not gonna work out the same. I just can't. I'm not gonna be able to put out as much episodes as I want to, and it's not that I don't want to. It's just I don't have enough time. You know, I've literally got to go to bed, start laying down to go to bed, like in 15-20 minutes. You know, so I'm gonna put this episode out, and that's it. I'm going to be laying in bed watching TV trying to go to sleep. It sucks. I have no life right now. That doesn't mean I'm unhappy. It just means it sucks. I want to podcast more. I would love for this to be my career, you know, but I don't think it's going to happen. But anyways, he was on the news the other day. This was about a month or 2 ago. Dude, and he was drunk as a fucking skunk. And this isn't me judging him. I mean, ta-da, you know. But this dude went on mainstream news, early morning too, and was slurring and not even making sense. Dude, it was bad. It was bad. And that could be, honestly, let's play devil's advocate. That could be, honestly, some underlying health problems, you know. Maybe something was going on, you know. Aneurysm, mini strokes, I don't know. But yeah, he was supposed to be on Meet the Press on Sunday. Graham was a frequent guest on the broadcast, appearing a total of 63 times over the years. That's insane. I think I've been on one person's channel. I've had people steal my content, but Mirror D80s, I've been on his channel twice. I think he's the only motherfucker who ever was yeah, I'll put out, you know, our chat, you know. Kind of jealous. 63 fucking times. And people listen to this trash. People actually watch and tune into this shit. It's fucking nuts. It blows my fucking mind, dude. when I hear what like certain people watch or listen to, I'm not trying to be like all like smug and like, oh, I listen to Tinfoil Hat Sam Tripoli, you know. I listen to Kurt Metzger or Tim Dillon, you know. I'm not trying to be like smug, but when I hear sometimes what people consume as far as like video and audio, I'm like, that's what you tune into? Like, okay. I gotta have comedy and shit, man. Some shenanigans. Graham's office said Sunday that the preliminary cause of death, preliminary cause of death was erotic dissection due to arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Damn, son. It's just hard to pronounce that shit. Arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Or a rupture of his aorta due to hardening of his arteries. And by the way, he didn't look healthy. I mean, let's play devil's advocate. He was a chunky monkey. He was old. If he was doing homosexual activities, there's a chance you can catch HIV. If you believe in viruses, that can turn into AIDS, you know. Which I would imagine, like, he would have, like, baby's blood or something that could fight that shit. But he probably didn't eat right, dude. Like, he had, like, man tits, and he looked like a little chunky monkey, man. Like a little sumo wrestler, you know. So, I mean, it could have been a heart attack, but when I heard about the bombing of that base and his hotel room, I'm like, nah, that motherfucker died over there. They might have shipped his corpse over here, or I'm curious to see the funeral. But even then, you can make wax figures, dude. I've seen wax museums. Like, I've never been to an official wax museum, but I've went to enough museums as far as like Civil War museums, true crime museums. I've been to enough museums and seen wax figures in the museum. You can make those motherfuckers like pretty fucking realistic. So just even if I see him in a fucking coffin, that doesn't mean shit to me. I mean, I could fake my own death right now and professionally pay for someone to make a wax Abe and do a fake funeral and film it and put it on YouTube and have Sammy out there crying, oh, like Charlie Kirk's wife. Sorry. Baloo, Abe is gone. And then like a month later go, fooled you all, motherfuckers. You know you would be pissed, dude. It would piss all y'all off if I did that shit. And I wouldn't blame you for being mad, but it would prove a point, though, that, like, this is possible to fake a death, you know? I just want you guys to think about stuff like this. And I know that, like, my longtime listeners, you guys are smart. You know, the Conspiracy Corner Army. You guys are fucking bright bulbs in the box. Like, you guys are geniuses. That's why you've stuck around for all these many years. You guys heard me talk the craziest shit and still stuck with me. I don't know. I want you guys to hit me up in the comments because I think the motherfucker died in Kiev. It was either at that nuclear bomb facility, because he was hanging out with what, I want to say Kaczynski, but it's not his name, Zelensky. He was hanging out with Zelensky, and then as soon as he stopped touring that stupid bomb facility, it got bombed by Russia. And then he went over to his hotel room, and then supposedly checked out, and then it got bombed. And then he comes home and dies. No, I think that motherfucker died in Kiev. I think Mitch McConnell's dead, so go check out the last episode. Apparently there's just politicians getting popped off. They're either dead or they're in fucking bunkers. Who the fuck knows, dude? But I don't believe the official story on either this one or Mitch McConnell. I'm sorry, I just don't. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comments below. Hype the video if you're on YouTube. Answer the poll if you're on Spotify. I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. And you all have an awesome fucking day. I'm going to hit the hay. I'm going to work tomorrow. And I'll see you when I see you. It might be a couple days because this new job is a totally different type of lifestyle. But see you guys.